Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. Welcome to March. Today is March 1st, 2020 already. And the 1 is the Magician. The day adds up to an 8, which is the Strength card. So we have inner strength and the magic that goes with it, the tools that we need and the strength that we need to manifest what we want to manifest. So great energy coming into March. It's a beautiful sunny day here. It's a bit cold outside. And I have a quick union read for you, but it was very cool today, so I wanted to bring it to you, as well as my Divine Masculine read, which is in front of you. And I had a nice day yesterday. I went up to a local town by the river with my son yesterday, taking another little break. And it was snowing a little bit. It was really cold out, but it ended up being a nice little jaunt to get out. So here we are, Sunday, with the sun out. And this union read first was done this morning at 8, 11 to 12, which is the 11 of Justice and the 12 of the Hangman. And I actually did use my inversion table yesterday, which I haven't used in a while. So I did hang upside down. I actually hung out upside down just like the Hangman position with just my one ankle in it and my other leg bent. And I feel pretty good today. I have like 5 bulges in my spine, so there's always little things, you know, I want to do to rearrange my alignment and that kind of thing, since, you know, sitting always brings on that kind of issue for me. But the union read today, the underlying energy, and I am going to show you the picture of the union read today. It was very cool. So please stay tuned if you can. I'll try, if I forget, someone please put a marker there or a timestamp for when the Divine Masculine read starts, as opposed to this one at the beginning, and then the oracle cards if I do oracles at the end. I'll try to remember to do that, but if I don't, you're always welcome to put that in the comments. And let's see here where the picture is. All right. Okay, so this is the picture of the, let me just get it focused. This is the picture of the union read for today, okay? So take a picture of it if you want to follow it as I go. The underlying energy was the Abundance card, and the SIRIAN Starseed deck is also the Empress. And the center card was the 4 of Pentacles, as I'm losing my voice already, so words need to be said. And it can regard abundance as well. The center card was the 4 of Pentacles, which in the SIRIAN Starseed deck for me is the Divine Masculine's heart, and I'm losing my voice again. So it's the masculine, it's the bat cave, him and his heart, you know, not wanting to come out because it's safe and warm in there. And mother and son issues also come up here, or not necessarily an issue, but that mother and son bond, which then I reflect because I'm with my son. So some of the masculines might be actually staying with their parents right now. But that mother and son relationship of her open arms and him hiding in that warm heart, right? That safe place. She gives away and he receives. She cold, he warm. She expansive and he in the cave, all right? So you see how that energy is coming out. She in her heart and he is comfortable and safe, right? So the mother's love keeps the son comfortable and safe and warm. But that's not necessarily in his highest good, right? That's why we all let our sons go eventually. But that's some of the energy that's coming up here, and that can bring up the mama's boy again. And also I was meditating just a little bit before the read, and I was getting the monkey song, Hey, Hey for the Monkeys, and the monk keys came up in my read today too. So stay tuned. There's a lot of cool stuff that came up that may be relevant to what the downloads that you're getting. So the underlying divine feminine energy was the 6 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. So the feminine was coming in with all fire. And the masculine went out of the read with all air. It was very interesting how it came together today. So the 6 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. And it was funny because it brought me back to, because fire isn't my main energy. And it brought me back to when I was a little girl. And I tackled my brother's friend to kiss him because I really liked him. You know, I think I was like 10 years old at the time, something like that. But it was bringing back that kind of energy. Like, what did you do when you were a child? What was your personality when you were, before you went through a lot of your wounds in your life? And it was hard for me to go back pre-wounding because I had a lot of wounding very early on when I was, you know, 1 and 2 years old. So So there's good news here and success and attention and leading the way as we go in with the Divine Feminine. And I'm getting like the Divine Feminine getting 3/4 of the big flame as opposed to half, right? And then 2.75, it was like 3/4 out of 1, so most of the big flame. And then 2.75 out of 5, so a little bit more than half, in followers. And the Queen of Wands placing herself first, right? So this is the fiery energy, the side of you that has a lot of action and drama and expression, desire, movement, okay? The Queen of Wands places herself first. She fakes it until she makes it. She holds the fire, the drama, the pretending, right? The actress says, hey, look at me. Rises above the Six of Flames, the journey apart from the crowd. And Middle East came up as well as Whoopah and Tangoing and the Fire Walker. Before the fire in order to rise above it. So just going through experiencing the different aspects of yourself. Just for example, when I was young, I did gymnastics, so I was always very physical all the time. My mother we all had to take an instrument and a sport, so we were all busy. There's 5 of us. We were all taking sports and instruments at the same time. So I don't know how my mother wanted to deal with that, because she had to listen to us all practice all of our 1 to 2 instruments at a time. And so, my whole life was very much about being physical and expression that way in gymnastics, and then in playing instruments and at school and that kind of stuff. So, and not as much now. And then it changes as you grow up and what your interests become, or the things that you get caught up in, right, with school and family and friends and marriage and relationships, all that kind of stuff that then takes place. So then 9, 10, begin again was coming up. Oh, and I was just getting another download. So I just told you that I was around 10 when I did that. And my father was 10 when he moved from Paris in the war to England. He was 10 when he left Paris. So just reflecting here the genetic code that gets transferred down from person to person. You do carry your parents' wounds. So the two wands, the twin flames, is the perpetual, and I went to write coal, right? The coal, the black coal. I went to write perpetual coal, and it wrote coat, so the coating. But the perpetual coal on the fire is the twin flames, the 2 wands, choosing the path perpetually over and over and over again, leading the way, showing your worth, and then rise to the next, and so on. Dancing the tango, always with the flame in your right hand. The left hand is free to clear and clear. Okay, so the feminine clears, with the etheric psychic connections more, and then the flame is held in the right hand. So the support and the grounding mechanism. So 1 big light, 1 smaller flame, while meditating peace, Kundalini rising. It's all a game. 3.75 and 1 big light, and snake, that Kundalini, and the 3.75 plus 3.25 equals 7, plus the light in the snake equals 8 they were giving me. The 7 taking your stand, and the 8 beginning to dance. All right, and this is all the flames. And then the 8 of Wands is what wasn't represented here, but is the the back and forth energy, the sharing of the third energy. So 9 of Flames is tired, and 10 is that 10 of Wands, right? The weight of the world upon your shoulder. It's time for bed. So it's saying 7, take your stand, because 6 is being at attention, right? Success and good news. Then taking your stand and holding it, and then 8 beginning to do the dance between your masculine and feminine within as well. Then the 9 of the Wands is being tired, the wounded warrior, and the 10 is just time for bed. So again, it's all in the aspect of how you look at it, perspective. And this brought up the reason why I went through the whole cycle of Wands, because I realized in numerology, you go through the cycles of numbers each year. So like, for example, my number this year is, I'm in a 39 year, and 39 is the Knight of Cups. So before the Cups is the Wands. And I was remembering back, my dark night was in the 9 of Wands going to the 10 of Wands. So I'm like, and I have to now repeat the 9 and 10 of Wands over and over and over again as I'm looking at the cycle. But it's telling you to just go back. When you're staying present, you don't have to experience the same things you experienced before, because like I said again, 7 is taking your stand, 8 is beginning to dance, 9 is just feeling tired, so take a break. And then 10 is time for bed, so then you sleep. It's like the winter time where you hibernate. So knowing that with your numbers, then you can just schedule what you want to do. 3D for the feminine here, or just the 3D in general, right? So for my union read, the left is the feminine in columns, the right is the masculine, the middle is the bridge between them. Then horizontally is the 3D, 4D, and 5D from top down. The underlying energy going in is the feminine, the energy going out at the end is the masculine, and then the last card on the right is the summary card. So the 3D was coming up the 4 of Swords, the Chariot, and the Reflection, which is the Hermit. Sleep, rest, meditation, and deep thought in a bold move to ascend, to move, to travel, and reflect. The Divine Feminine, meditating, and the Divine Masculine in reflection. And I found this very interesting because now that we're not really in the 3D much, there's just that kind of meditative and reflection energy from the masculine and the feminine because we're not really reflected in 3D. So it's interesting how the cards represent us in that way. So bridging by moving, travel, and ascending, and both out of town, right? Because you're no longer in 3D. It's now living in 4D, or the next level of the game. So then 4D comes up as the 8 of Cups, the 4 of Pentacles, and the transition. As I get my throat's caught again because I went through the masculine's heart. The Divine Feminine is walking away, and the Divine Masculine is transitioning through the portal, through astro travel perhaps, and then the bridge via the Divine Masculine's heart in the Bat Cave, where he's up to bat, excuse me, deciding his weapon of choice, right? He's in the Bat Cave, so which bat is he going to use? The weapon of choice, and that was at 8:39, which I just brought up 39, that's funny, with the 8 of today, which is strength, and 39 is the Knight of Cups. So the Divine Feminine is only dabbling in the 4D now, as I'm losing my voice again still. Because the Divine Feminine is dabbling in 4D, and his heart is the bridge, so he's getting nervous about that connection. The Divine Feminine is only dabbling in the 4D now physically, because she's physically grounded there, and so she can go more up into the 5D within her moment-to-moment basis. And the Divine Masculine is transitioning to meet her via the Bat Cave. Batman and Robin. Robin Hood had to leave his merry men in the hood, for this is a duo and not a group. The Divine Feminine becomes her Divine Masculine in the 5D, and the Divine Masculine Hermit his Divine Feminine in the 3D. Robin is leaving the basement, the hood, to the 4D Bat Cave. The 3D Robins wake all everyone in the springtime. But now it's time to change jobs and be Batman in 4D. Bats are mammals with fur, and they give birth. Birds have feathers and flock together and lay eggs. So bats have arms, hands, and feet and are warm-blooded, but birds generate their own heat, and they don't need you. Bats are nocturnal, but not robins. Both live in trees and are shy around humans and can fly and have wings and can fly. But the bat is more like a mouse with wings. And then Ben was coming up. And that always comes up from Ben, the two of us need look no more. So from Michael Jackson. So then Ben came up. Ben 10 came up online. Ben the train. And Ben McLemore, which is funny. Lemore and more just came up in the definition yesterday. The boy who could fly from 86. Dream I Can Fly 769 from Benjamin Moore. It's actually a paint color. I think it was like a creamy type of color, a white. Again, that was called Dream I Can Fly if you're interested, 769 from Benjamin Moore paint. And then Marshmallow came up, Dash Fly, which was a video YouTube. And then Ben Goron, Gurron, Airport, which is Tel Aviv. So that was pretty cool. That airport came up. And then I Believe I Can Fly, How Soon Our Heart Parts Safely, Fit to Fly. How soon our heart. How soon our heart points safely fit to fly. So those were just some of the headers coming up with that at that moment. So at 9:01, which is the Hermit and the Magician. Now we're up to the 5D here, which was Judgment for the feminine, King of Pentacles for the bridge, and Starseed for the masculine. The Divine Feminine with the open lotus, out of karma, and the Divine Masculine about to get a big hit through his crown. Coming in fast and furious, a big download, a hailstorm, a bomb, a meteorite, or a drop in the jungle. Bridged by the King of Pentacles. In this deck is the Akashic Records, the Crystal Skull. And then the Yucatan and Atlantis and Lemuria came up. So I searched that to see what was coming up. And the 9 Freedoms by Dr. George King came up about Atlantis and Lemuria. And that was from aetherius.org. And also the Lost Continent of Lemuria from themindunleashed.com. The idea of Lemurian continent first appeared in the works of Augustus, and Augustus came up for me the other day. I told you about that from my session on the chakra table down the shore a couple days ago. And Augustus Caesar came up, so now here's Augustus coming up again. The works of Augustus Le Plongeon, is Plongeon, 1826 to 1908, a researcher and writer, investigations of Maya in the Yucatan, which it was actually called Mu, as opposed to Lemuria. Distribution of lemurs confused defenders of the Darwin theory. Perhaps there was a landmass in the Indian Ocean between Madagascar and India millions of years ago. So the English zoologist Philip Leschlater proposed the name Lemuria from the lemurs, or the lemurs. For this former land, or lemurs in the Indian Ocean, they assumed that that land sunk into the Indian Ocean, and the name Rutas came up, R-U-T-A-S. So Madame Blavatsky described Lemuria as the third root race on Earth, egg-laying with third eye without need for a brain, originally bisexual, and their downfall was discovering sex. So I think that was more of a unisex type thing. So 1896, English theosophist W. Scott Elliot used astroclairvoyance and then located Lemuria not only in the Indian Ocean, but the east coast of Africa, India, and the Pacific Ocean. 14,000 years ago, Lemuria was thriving, ancient ancestors of the Native Americans. So recorded info of their timeline in crystals and tunnels, that's what they did back then, to save the information, because they knew that they went underground to avoid the flooding that would destroy the rest of the civilization. But they didn't get destroyed because they were underneath, and then they could come back out. So that was literally the beginning of the Native Americans, okay? So they moved underground, and in Japan it was called the Ainu, A-I-N-U. The floods wiped out the civilizations, and then there was new emergence of everything, literally where the native peoples originated from, and the shamans. Also, depending on where you were in the earth, also Aborigines in Australia, and the Druids, and then preserving Atlantean information along with the Egyptians. So Lemuria location is associated with the Ring of Fire, the Pacific Plate, where the eruption areas that outline Lemuria, except the south side. On December 2604 was the tsunami activation with earthquakes and volcanoes that were dormant for many years before that. Lemuria, Pacifica, Mu, and then Edgar Cayce called it Zu or Oz, Z-U or O-Z. Also, Japan and Hawaii and Easter Island were brought up here. Hiva, H-I-V-A. And then the Hobbit of Floors, where they found, this was in October 2004, where they found bones in Indonesia of a 3'7" hobbit. 2 months before the earthquakes and the link, they think, maybe a link to Lemuria. So Atlantis is between North America and Europe and Africa. And then it's coming up as the Divine Feminine being the lotus that he drops into you, or you into him. Atlantis meets Lemuria in the jungle. the masculine meets the feminine. You know, Lemuria being more the feminine energy, Atlantis being more the masculine energy. The Akashics come streaming in, and he remembers the divine feminine. The 5D judgment or karma saved in the 11th hour, which we're in now, right? Because the end of the year is Pisces. The beginning of the year is Aries. So at the equinox on March 21st, this is the end of the year. So we're in the 11th hour of the year right now. The judge and the fool meet as the monkey in the middle, the monk key, and Tibet. Tibet and Japan were looked up at 1939 was the Japanese expedition to Tibet, the Ia Valley. So they were coming up as highlighted, Tibet and Japan. Of course, Japan is where the Olympics are this year. And then Easter Island was also coming up. East, Ease, Esther, and Easter were all coming up. So here it's coming up again, and Easter Island now. So, and also yesterday, the Bermuda Triangle was coming up significantly. I'm having a hard time getting my words out. But again, for me, the Bermuda Triangle has come up as significant because not only have I been at all three corners of the triangle, but I've been at two of them with my father, and I've rarely traveled with my father. So Bermuda, Puerto Rico, and then the Florida Keys are the triangle corners. So, and it looks like I'm going down to Miami or the Keys with my kids this month, March, since we're in March now. So there's a reason for me going back there again. So here we have the Divine Feminine being the 3D in meditation, the 4D leaving or walking away or hiking, right, traveling, and then the 5D without, no longer in karma. The bridge between them is the Chariot, which is ascension, travel, right, moving. The Divine Masculine is the middle here, and the 4D, the Divine Masculine's heart or the Bat Cave, and then the 5D is the King of Pentacles, the Akashic Records, opening up the crystal skulls that were, you know, buried before and now ready to come out again, so that we have the information going into the new heaven on earth. Ascending to the cave, which is underground, and then bomb shelters come up where Akashics are, crystal caves, and Bermuda again have crystal caves, so the crystal caves were coming up. The Divine Masculine side is the Hermit in the 3D, reflecting down below, and then the 4D in the 4D transition, where he's transitioning completely out of the 3D, no longer 3D anymore, to his 5D downloads, all right? So as the feminine's already stationed in 5D with her 4D body grounded, the masculine's now transitioning completely out of 3D into 4D and making his way, you know, further up into 5D, you know, as the feminine holds the light, but still keeps her grounded. So again, Easter Island came up, which is outside Chile, to the west of Chile, and it's also east of the Pitcairn Island, which you know, I live near Bernathen Cathedral, which is the Pitcairn Estates, which I just rode past yesterday. So that was very, very important since I just connected that. So it's near Tahiti and Chile, but it's out in the middle of the ocean, you know, Easter Island, but it's near Pitcairn Island, which is also in the middle of the ocean. So all that kind of energy of the islands between Japan and South America were coming up. So very much Lemuria energy. And then the Gulf Stream waters came up. Gulf Stream Park came up, as well as the Gulf Stream also identified as a renewable power source. Not only is it a cyclone area, but because of that is probably why it's such a good renewable power source. So how do we contain that energy for our use? And also the number 63 was coming up, which is the 9 of Swords, right? That suffering and silence energy, stressed out, purging, you know, up at night, not sleeping, and headaches. But remember, it's all in perspective, because 63 may be the 9 of Swords, but it's also 6 and 3, which is the Lovers and the Empress, and in her abundance. And then the 6 plus 3 is the 9, which is the Hermit, hermiting together. So the Lovers with the Mother and her abundance, offering them an ability to hermit together. So the masculine energy going out here at 10:08, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Strength card is the Queen of Swords, the 6 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords together. So like I said, the feminine was all fire coming into this read, the masculine's all air going out. In his Divine Feminine, preserving, right, because the feminine's cool and cold, the masculine's hot and warm, right? in his divine feminine, preserving his natural light with a handle on the truth. And then dolphins come up for him, as well as the fin. And Finn came up as the name in the quilt movie, the American quilt movie I watched the other night. But the fin is what's always showing out of the water. It's what you like to show off and expose. Metatron's cube is also coming up here for the masculine, and Bermuda Triangle. And Triangulum Minor, which is a reflection of that up in the sky. Swimming upstream, the Gulf Stream, the Florida to Bermuda. So the Gulf Stream came up here. The Gulf of Mexico to the tip of Florida, and then the East Coast going upward towards Newfoundland, and then crosses the Atlantic as the North Atlantic Current, and that was described as 40 degrees 0 north and then 30 degrees exactly west. It actually splits in two. At 40, which is the Page of Cups, which is that pure, unconditional love, and then 30 is the union energy of the Four of Wands. So that was pretty cool. And then the two together are 70, and 70 is the Two of Pentacles. And in the SIRIAN Starseed deck, that's the surrender. So where it splits in two is the Y in the road, and then it goes into the North Stream and the North Atlantic drift to North Europe and Southern Stream, and then the Canary Current going downwards towards Africa. So again, the Gulf Stream is a source of cyclones and renewable power generation. The Queen of Swords and the dolphin, perhaps a dolphin cruise in the Gulf Stream waters with lightning opening up the sky, perhaps an ET connection. Beam me up, Scotty, opening of the crown even more. The lighthouse, the Three of Orbs, in triangulation with the Bermuda Keys and the monks. And then when I looked up those words, Himalaya, the story about a Himalayan boy and a monk came up. And again, like I said, the dolphins and going cruising, perhaps the sea dolphins are just going out on a cruise. And then it also brings up that 63 number here with the Six of Swords and the Three of Swords and the Sage. So Sage is clearing not only a queen in this deck, but it's clearing the 63 or the Nine of Swords. Clearing the suffering and silence and seeing the lovers and the Empress instead and the Hermit. Hermiting together. And then Miami Heat was coming up, rising above the drama, Miami Heat. The Divine Feminine brings in the heat, and the Divine Masculine is cooling it off. And the summary of this union read was the Ace of Flames, the passion, the inspiration, the new. So going from the abundance of the Empress to the Ace of Flames, the mother opens her arms to new passion, to her flame, via the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, safe and warm. So as I was doing the Divine Masculine read in front of you, and I was shuffling, the Great Wheel of Fortune flew out at 10:35, which is the Wheel of Fortune again, and the 35 of the Wounded Warrior, the Mary Magdalene. And then at 10:44, 44 being the Four of Cups, the grounding and integrating and mastering of love, especially receiving it, as above, so below came up. And then I was getting the Ass above, so below. There was an interesting message there. And then in the Tarot of Sexual Magic, as I was putting down the Two of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, that's when I got the As Above, So Below. And the Two of Swords has to do with staying to yourself, or if it's upside down, it's gaining clarity. And then the Ace of Pentacles has to do with that new life, that brand new life. So keeping it to yourself as you gain clarity about the new life that you're about to embark upon. So for the masculines here, for this Twin Flame Masculine read, it is a general read. It's for the Divine Masculines, so it's definitely going to reflect the feminine's inner masculine as well. At 10:55 to 56, it was completed. 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, 55 is the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Swords, 56 again. The majors were Transition, which is the Death card, Ascension, which is the World. The Lovers came up, as well as Luna, the Moon. And before the read, Starseed came up, which is like the Fool. And after the read, High Priestess came up. And I only pulled 2 cards on either end today, so less than usual. We had 1 Pentacle, 5 Wands today, and 1 Cup. So a whole lot of passion and drive here, and desire, and movement, physical movement. We have the Queen of Wands here, and the King of Wands. And before the read, the Page of Cups came up again, that innocent, pure love of the child. Then the numbers and the message here were about parenting and environment, and 33 of the Christ vibration came up. But on the code line was all about 6, 3, and 9. So again, we had the 63 of the 9 of Swords, but also the Lovers and the Empress and the Hermit. Okay, and that has to do with the 3 in the triangle as well. Okay, the Lovers, and that can reference Gemini as well. The Empress, which can reference Taurus, and then the 9, which can reference Virgo or the Hermit. So the code line about parenting and environment, some of the letters were covered, so we have a code here, and it was coming up as P separate from parenting, so airing out, and then EN separate from environment, so the virus was coming up, airing out the virus, parenting, aerating the environment, and then the P separate with the EN comes up as pen, which has to do with writing about airing out your environment. The code line was all about 6, 3, and 9. So 6 plus 3 equals 9. And seeking to the nth degree, the Lovers, the twin flames, being the gift of the divine feminine as the aerating the environment for the divine masculine. It's like it's associating the feminine as the cure to the coronavirus for the masculine, right? Not that she's curing the coronavirus, but just like a cure would be found for the coronavirus, she is the cure for the divine masculine. To seek the truth, to seek in general to the nth degree, the Lovers, the twin flames, and the gift that it is of the divine feminine as his cure, basically, is what they were writing here. To see the K, the energy, the Lovers' high vibration, that high trill, 010101. And the third energy, present divine feminine loon, even if he sees her as a loony bin or a Looney Tune, right? Which, speaking of which, I almost forgot that. But seeing her, that loon, as that perfect pairing or parenting as well. It was coming up as pairing and renting. It's like the pairing of Jesus and plus creation. And renting and ironment came up as well. So iron again came up. That came up yesterday, the day before. So let's see. Seeketh the 6, the Lovers, or the Sophia 9, the collective consciousness of the feminine, and the twin flames, and staying present to the gift of the moment. And then Southeast came up here as well. And Valunas came up. Southeast Valuna. So I looked up Valuna, VELUNA. And a couple things came up. One was valuna.com.au, and it literally said, and I love this, raw, contemporary, and delicately gorgeous energy-infused jewels for the journey. Does that describe the twins or what? And then tgpamerica.com, glass bricks, and things like that. The Valuna radiates visible greenish blue for greater than 1 hour after exposure to fluorescent light. All right, so it's talking about the hue of the twin flames. That was very cool. That it's also a game. The Valuna comes up as a game as well, with Greyhawk in it, and Nightshade, and Obsidian Portal. That was a game. Okay, so the other numbers that came up here, besides the 369 and the 33 of the Christ vibration, the sequence of numbers 6, 7, 8, lay them straight, came up, as well as 151. Which can reference the masculine and the feminine with big changes between them. And 34 came up again here for the 8 of Wands, and the 46 for the 6 of Cups, the children in the garden. Okay, so here we go with the read. We have at 1125, which is Justice and the Knight of Wands. The 3 of Pentacles being the underlying energy here. And beneath that was the Starseed, which is like the Fool, and the Page of Cups. So perfect, the Fool, and then the Page of Cups, the innocence of love. Excuse me, I just had a salad. All right, so the 3 of Pentacles workplace with this new infusion of unconditional, pure, innocent, childlike love, and the Starseed, which is that, ready to take that leap of faith. The big download comes in with the SIRIAN Starseed deck, and then within the clarifying deck is the Fool, with the open heart, ready to leap and free. So the workplace after the Starseed, planting a star, free to leap with message of love. The Page of Swords spreading the word about the 5D connection and unhappy without him. The Queen of Wands is upright and the King of Swords reversed. Announce inspiration, or a Page of Wands who's inspired, of the Empress reversed, her unhappiness, lack, or sudden dissatisfaction being alone. And that can be several different people, really. It could be anyone. It can be a mother, a grandmother, mother-in-law, an aunt. It can be the masculine's partner, it can be the divine feminine. It can be someone who miscarried, which comes up here as well. But it can be an elder who's just, in lack because they're old and they have issues. So the Page of Swords talks and sleeps on the job, away or always being dissatisfied. And we're talking about the workplace still here. The Queen of Wands is upright, but the King of Swords is reversed, with a wake-up call or a cattle call for new inspiration or inspired, or birth announcements go out at work, or a new project, business, or the Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands with a negative announcement about the King of Swords reversed and the Empress reversed, except the Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands are excited to spread this news that's negative, or a sudden miscarriage. A big announcement, getting the word out. The Page of Wands is resting, or lay to rest, or excited about meditation, but the Empress reversed is not having it. Or they're just somebody who's sick, or ill, or old. Someone you're taking care of. So the Knight of Swords reversed is holding their tongue and coming clean or getting clean, at war, defensive, or his bodyguard. 2, a Page of Pentacles, student, and that can be an opportunity or an invitation as well, and the Hermit, which can be a doctor or a professional, or an old wise one, or a Virgo perhaps. So someone could be picking up their dry cleaning, or the puppet master of the traveling puppet show may have been canceled, broke down, or just done, with students tagging along, or hermit shedding light on blocks, brokenness, a breakdown up and through, or star with bodyguards, keeping the Page of Pentacles apart from their recovery of guilt and shame, studying or highlighting sudden breakdowns, and blunt trauma was coming up. And a doctor, professional, hermit, or Virgo trying to find where the breakdown occurred. The faulty foundation, the ride, or issues in communication, or misfiring of engines. And then I was just getting ingenuity here. Protocols, or spoke too soon. A car accident, twin towers, explosions, eruptions, earthquakes, and tidal waves. Seismologists, or seismologists, and unearthing of discoveries and groundbreaking epiphanies, the day the earth stood still. Tunneling underground and underground railroad, safe passage to the new world. How did we get from there to here? Drove off a cliff, 10 clicks and hits. Who let the dogs out? And towering infernos where people jumped rather than burn. Where did they learn that? The monk on the mountaintop discovering the keys, polarized sphinxes and minxes and jinxes. Hin Min Jin came up, and some other ones as well. So this is Korean energy and Chinese energy was coming up with Han Ji Min and Min Jin Wung and Min Jin Lee and Shin Min, Mu Jin Lee. All of these were like writers and actresses, and thus also iron came up again. Crossing the line from accident to purposely dying or purposeful dying. Breakdowns of cars, buildings, and people. And then, I believe I can fly. So that was coming up at 11:57 is Justice and the 3 of Swords. I believe I can touch the sky, right? Think about it every night. So now it's 11:59, which is literally the minute before the hour. It's the minute before midnight. At the 11th hour, as the world turns, since the new year starts with Aries, 321, the spring equinox, which is actually, okay. The moon in Cancer is also one to bring up before I forget this. On March 4th, 2020 at 12:25, that's Eastern. That's 4:25, I think, UTC. But the moon goes into Cancer, and there was a reason because the node's in Cancer still, the 11th hour of the node, because it leaves, I think it's May 5th, to take advantage of the node in Cancer while it's still there. So the negative gossip surrounds the one coming clean becoming the student of the hermit, removing blocks with epiphanies at the workplace, implementing a plan for a new life with the gold coin without sunshine, so tired, sick, and overexposed, or sick and tired, in need of sunshine or sovereign, or sovereignty, offering a new life or money or a gift, in need of his sunshine, sovereignty, and sovereign. The keyhole in hedge, uvula and vulva, good bets. Fell off his white horse, now trading his gold coin for his sunshine back. Soulmate comes up, and underneath that's deception. The wounded warrior tells the story about the Queen of Wands and the flame always there, and trying to bridge the distance gap with the 5D dream world and nightmare on Elm Street, the basement and the cauldron and the black cat and the sword, stones, and crest, him watching women put their boots on, always witnessing and dressing and wearing low-cut shirts, sitting on logs with more beneath, with men in the background, leading goat and flame in another direction, toward the black or dark bird. The remote viewing to clear the dark goats in his pockets while he works, closing the gap, with tulips and a view of horses. I was just getting billy goats, but also billowy curtains and the dungeon, putting the truth back into the equation of the 5D dream girl and sex in the basement or dungeon, and touchy butts without ever touching, no armor. She knows all his secrets and he hers, feeling naked, looking normal on the surface but connecting to the divine feminine in the 5D world and the 3D nightmare. And then change comes up, which is number 5, to change what's not working at 12:21, the end of karma. And beneath that was financial discipline, 48, which is the walking away, the 8 of Cups. The worst being over of the Queen of Wands reversed, and now the lovers of the Emperor destined to share secret for a price to the highest bidder. And again, this is where the Cancer node comes up as the 11th hour, because it's only there till, I think it was the node that ends 5/5, 2020, but you can double check that. The moon enters Cancer on March 4th at 4:25 a.m. UTC, but 12:25 East Coast. And the engines are pumping, looking at the inner workings of Fatum and distribution of assets. Opened a very dense can of worms with the Queen of Wands reversed, but is now settling out with secret exposed and being present suddenly with epiphanies, or suddenly single, sovereign, and realizing of that nightmare and change. Present to the epiphanies of sovereign, suffering in silence, and trying to change what's not working. Done aligning with desires, work, etc. And recently is the transition of the masculine, of the wounded warrior, broken, broke down, up or through, or blocked or stuck, or just without a car, healing, forgiving, saving, grounding, and being moderate to gain clarity. Of the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Wands upright here. At 12:31 is the Hangman and the 5 of Wands, the expansion energy. The foundation is the 8 of Cups and walking away again. Under the radar at 12:32, the Hangman and the Journeyman, the 6 of Wands. Under the radar, the Knight of Wands rushing in passionately or getting things done, away from injustice, of walking away from all his hard work or everything he had put his heart into. Grieving and standing on the high ground, with the Hermit shedding light down below, holding light for him so he can see clearly now. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. So that comes up. And then the central energy is the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles on her, offering some help or an offer to drop burdens and or confess with synchronicities, and knowing the one and not having done anything about it, getting a job offer or offer for alimony to make things easier for them. Or the King of Wands reverse is just exhausted, working to make her life free and easy, or now giving her a few options. The challenge being the 3 of Wands, present moment, the 3rd flame, the truth to the King of Cups with a bodyguard, and the Hierophant or Taurus in need or ending the family cycle or emotional cycle of unhappiness. And the Knight of Cups offering love and truth to guarded King of Cups, connected to the 3rd energy of the Queen of Cups at the full moon, the Nightshade, the Cancer, the nightmare before Xmas, right? So Christmas for the X, and advance rejected, an advance that had been rejected at night, new life grounding and integrating an offer of love, and healing the broken heart with synchronicities and new activities, perhaps with drama and surprises, and inspired with clarity to decide and announce confession or dropping of burdens, but stuck without peace with the secret out and a need to use their intuition. Now, for the masculine is ascension, the world in his right hand, present to the secret being out and dysfunctional family or loss of family, job, or money, or present to the need to use his intuition, especially now the market's down, with the world complete with the 10 of Pentacles upright, not telling and sneaking out the back, twins around the world coming clean and getting clean, perhaps still a little sneaky, but need to clear while out in the world, clearing while they're cleaning up the world. Avoiding dancing or maybe giving it an uncomfortable try. At work, taking forever to leave or end with the Queen of Pentacles still offering love. The Divine Masculine is injured and out in the cold. Now ready to receive and open his heart. It's like he's out in the cold, but now ready to receive the open heart and the leap of the Fool into his arms. Present to romantic tie and healing, no peaceful place to go with synchronicities everywhere, and the old man Hierophant with 2 girls free to do as he pleases, or the Page of Wands is a teen, or this is a man acting like a teen, or just excited and inspired again. Changing of the guards, relieving him of his duties, no longer his child, the Page of Wands, but a grown man, the King of Cups. He's no longer a child. The 10 of Cups reversed, the end of the cycle, or someone was kicked out, the Dark Princess or Dark Priestess in pink but without the keys and no intuition, or someone who dropped the keys off or is picking them up, and definitely placing judgment upon the Divine Masculine as they do that. At 106 is the Magician and the Lovers. Announcing his secret. So someone's very pleased to be able to announce the masculine's secret. It's like, wanting to get back at them. So soon is the 7 of Wands upright, rising above the drama at 107, the Magician and the Chariot, selling out or settling out, and holding tongue with the Queen of Cups frustrated or unable to conceive as much of. Suffering in silence in a move or end of marriage, or just visiting a friend, the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, both upright, may be entertaining each other while he is weak or in ego death or is out of control. Or Leo may have hung him out to dry or just hanging out with weakness, or a Leo reversed. And that can always be ego as well. The Sovereign is given the truth from a depressed or Aquarian bird lashing out. He is seeing himself as the lover, with the Devil or Capricorn, and the Emperor reversed, out of control, abusive power, or just an ego death, or Capricorn and Aries not getting along, depressed Aquarius, Aries, or Gemini lover, and the Queen of Swords speaking to get him to break patterns of juggling, performing, or covering things up, especially the divine lovers. Keep an open mind comes up, as well as let your friends help. Calling in your soulmate and romantic feelings come up for the Divine Masculine. Around him, or how he is seen, is the 6 of Wands reversed. And number 26 came up there, which is the Page of Wands, who's that excited boy. Can be girl too, but it's that excited teenage energy. But the 6 of Wands is reversed. So under the radar, offer of love, destined or from Libra. Prisoner comes with the offer, as well as back pain, ending pain, a painful end, and perhaps treatments as well. Clear blocks of the moon, moodiness, deep waves, ebbing and flowing in disconnect, not seeing eye to eye or face to face, right? So worrying about, well, what happens when my dark side comes up? Will everything fall apart? When hanging out and my dark side shows up, right? So those are some of the blocks for the masculine. Parenting comes up and environment, but even more so, surrender and relationship change. The Queen of Cups in disconnect and the King of Wands, shaman reversed, announces dropping responsibilities or confessing or a breakup, unable to find peace with the secret out, or when not using his intuition, or not when he's not in twit, which was kind of funny. All right, the King of Wands reversed, fallen angel, And the King of Pentacles reversed, all about money, or fell and lost money and status. The High Priestess reversed is High Priestess reversed is the secret being out about the passion, and the Divine Masculine's heart in the bat cave, expressing feelings and energy exchange, sudden events, explosions, eruptions, and epiphanies in coming together. The Three of Pentacles at work, walking away or going on a hike, the Lovers under the radar transitioning, with the Queen of Wands challenged by staying present and rising above the drama or her drama and moods, ebbs and flows, the dance, and Cancer, the nighttime and the full moons, out in the world complete. The cycle is done. He's come full circle, and the King of Wands reversed with his secret passion in the bat cave, his heart. The Three of Pentacles transition to secret passion, walking away from work, the Queen of Wands complete and challenged by staying present. Lovers rising above the drama, under the radar of the ebb and flow at night and deep emotions of the full moons, and the King of Wands reversed is done, the cycle, and needing to use his intuition with secret passion in the bat cave, his heart. So that was the read for you guys. I hope you like those. That was very enjoyable for me to go through this morning. All right, so I'll just pull you a couple cards. Let's see what we have. Oh, I did, just for fun, I was cleaning out my daughter's room and I found a Scooby-Doo deck. And there's all different positions of Scooby. So I wanted to pull a card for you to see what comes up for you guys today. So let's see what comes up for you guys. All right, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? All right, what do we have for you guys? This is for March 1st. What brings in March? Take a deep breath, you guys. For the best of everybody watching, best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? What does Scooby-Doo have to tell us? What Scooby-Doo pose? What Scooby-Doo pose? Like, you can't take a whole bunch of cards because there's actually more poses than I thought. There's more than 12 poses, so let's see. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. There we go. This one reversed. It's number 5. All right, he's on 2 feet, but it's reversed. So this is like a balancing act, and he's very proud of himself. And this is the masculine no longer doing that balancing act. He's no longer pretending or covering up. That's number 5, change, which is good. And then we have number 6. All right, voila. It is I, it is me, I am here. I am 6, I am the Lovers, which is funny because he comes up as a lover today. That's so perfect. There's his other pose, and then the Queen. And there's his partner, the Queen. And this is me. I am his twin. Oh, don't we look so cute together? Pretty funny. I thought that'd be good to do. The bottom of the deck is also the Queen, right? All right. And then he made me almost drop the deck. All right. So who should I pull from? I hope you like that Scooby-Doo. I actually was surprised at what came out with that. All right, I'm going to go first with the what am I doing? Where's my other deck? Oh, Nature's Whispers we'll do first, okay? I'm still laughing about Scooby-Doo. Take another deep breath, you guys. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all who's concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light, and so it is. What is our message here? What do we need to know? The reason for all the messages that came up in the reading today. What does everyone need to know? All right, this is what we have. I think there's 2 cards here. Yes, there is. All right, these 2 cards are coming up for you. I'm going to show you the underlying energy first. So maintain your childlike spirit, which is perfect for that Page of Cups coming up today. 27 is the Ace of Wands, which is the Union read ended on the 27, or the Ace of Wands. And this is like swinging at the Y in the road, right? She's in the underground caves. Look, she's underground in the caves with 2 pathways to go from, and she's just hanging out enjoying herself while she waits to choose. All right, so even when you're stuck at the Y in the road, she's swinging on the swing. So having fun. Be childlike. Find a passion. Find something to be excited about. So we have 42, let love be your beacon. So again, the guiding post, the lighthouse in the storm. And let your heart guide you. There's just like a skeleton of a fish though, right? Don't forget your God. And she's very much all about the sacral chakra, right? With all of her orange and everything else around her, is very grounded, very brown and green, except for this little bit of peacock energy here. But she's on fire, right? She wants to show her peacock feathers, but she's not in the right environment to do it yet, because it's not that environment. It's still a very grounded, more 3D environment. And this is a little bit scarce here. Like there's too much sacral energy as not enough heart energy there. So here's the clear endeavor. 39 is that Knight of Cups. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful winter wonderland. I don't know if I've seen this one before. Clear endeavor. Let love be your beacon. 42 is the 2 of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Cups. The 2 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. How beautiful. Okay. She looks like she's admiring this one. How glamorous she is. It's because she's asking for that sexual relationship, right? She's too orange. This one is just loving herself first, right? She's trying to be something for somebody, and I'm getting, is just exuding her natural light. And that's why she draws that attention. Be clear in your endeavors, what you love and what you want. Be love. The Knight of Cups is being love for everyone, not just your twin. And this is someone, her focus is to be the 2 of Cups. Her focus is to just be love. So that was a perfect example of that. I love that. Thank you. And also, you guys, this one matches the underlying energy perfectly. Look at that. And once she chooses her path, she becomes this. But she's taking her time. There's no force. There's no forcing it. When she's ready to go, she'll go, and she'll grow up. That was really perfect. So just allow yourself to be you. There's no rush. Just be you. All right, I'm going to go to the Animal Tarot. Animal Tarot. You have the 5 of Summer Dragonfly. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. All right, so again, it's always about perspective. This wants to be seen as well. The star, the Oriole. You are about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear and hope, and joy is coming home to roost. And of course, this is that natural feeling of the new spring, which is the natural cycle of life, right? It was time to hibernate, and now it's time to come out and get excited again. The butterfly has something to show you. He's guiding the bird. And the bird is very orange and black, right? So it's, again, the one who's showing too much orange and has dark edges. The butterfly is exuding their natural light and showing them the way. And there's like, in that, the pot's dumping out seeds or rocks, but I was getting like nuts, you know, like whatever kind of nut it is. What am I getting? Streams. Oh, I'm getting the Gulf Stream waters. The Gulf Stream waters. But there's they could represent like rocks or nuts, or it depends on your perspective. It can be so many different things. And then the 9 of Spring is here as well. The gazelle. You've worked hard, and you've created impressive and something worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges may pop up, but don't worry, you'll get through them just as you have in the past, right? You've always gotten through everything up to here now, haven't you? So no need to worry about it anymore. And then this is the last one wants to come out. 11 is Strength. The Lion and the Lamb. The strength, true strength, is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. I love that the lion has flowers in their hair. And there's the butterfly again, and the infinity. And there's a sliver of a moon there too. Like very close to a new moon that they're together. Oh, I have to show you these two. There's 3 more cards that really want to come out. I have to show them to you. The bottom is Balance, which is a zebra. 14 is the Temperance card. By merging varying points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea. Compromise with others and collaborate to discover a better solution. So allow other people's point of view so you can see a different perspective. Maybe you're stuck and you can't see another way. And then somebody comes and shows you a fresh perspective to look at it. So these 2 came out, and then there's another one too. But these 2 kind of came out together, right? So he's hauling, I want to say hauling ass, but he's hauling ass with his little backpack there, right? The St. Bernard. You're working far too hard, and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and enjoy life, all right? Just don't work too hard. And then there's the Prince of Summer, romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting. The Frog, a deeply emotional, probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such whirlwind encounters, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. And then this 3rd card here is the 10 of Winter, the Siberian Husky Dog. The end of the career path, project, or relationship brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. The leash is in your hand. No one is controlling you anymore. You even have a fire hydrant there if you need to pee. All right. Or if you need to put fires out. So again, we have the description of 3 different energies, right? One may be going to go your own way. Some take the Huskies going their own way. Okay. All right. Just one more for you guys. I'm going to do the Kipper deck for you guys. Just one last card. Take a deep breath. All right. These 2 want to come out. Married and courtship. How do you like that? And behind that is change, and then the empty family room. All right, so it needs to be filled. The bottom of the deck is sudden wealth, 777s. Okay, that's number 11 is justice, truth, and balance, and you're getting 777s, which is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to show you the cards, and I'm going to let you go. Underlying energy, that 3 of crystals. Or 3 of Pentacles, the transition or death card in the recent past. The foundation is the 8 of Chalices. And the middle is the Queen of Wands, challenged by the 3 of Flames. She's up right here, but she was reversed up here. You see the Queen of Wands in the underlying energy. The crowning position is the World or Ascension. And then we scroll over this way to the 7 of Flames coming up. That was upright. The masculine seeing himself as the Lovers, and around him is the 6 of Flames reversed. And then the block is the Moon with a big tidal wave there. And then we end up there with the Shaman. And you see all the different colors today. We had orange, blue, yellow, and green, right? So all of the lower chakras, like from sacral, solar plexus, heart, and throat. And then we had the High Priestess reversed. That's like the secret coming out for me. And then the masculine in the back cave there, all right? Divine Masculine's heart. And we end up with the Three of Cups, okay? And there's the underlying energy colors. So there's a lot of compassion there in the underlying energy. All right, drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. It's just 5:05. Rise and be loved, you guys. See ya. Bye.